Hi, Cowboy T here, San Francisco liberal with a gun. In this video series we're going to talk about the Pro 1000 Progressive Press from Lee Precision Incorporated. That would be this guy right here. The Pro 1000 is, in my opinion, a good little press. It'll let me churn out a lot of ammo in a relatively short period of time. Unfortunately, it's gotten a bit of a bad rap in some corners. And sadly, this has been even at the even from the authorities of reloading, like AmmoSmith himself. He's got this wonderful press that is otherwise just sitting there doing nothing because it was too much of a pain in the rear to dial the thing in. Well, if even a long-time hand loader like him is having challenges like that, then that emphasizes all the more the need for videos like what we're making right now. We're going to teach you how to make this press sing like a nightingale, purr like a kitten. The thing is, with this press, you have your quirks. Like all presses, like all progressive presses do. The Dillons have them, the RCBSs have them, the Hornady Lock and Load has them. You can't expect any other progressive press, to include the Pro 1000, not to have them. They just have to be different quirks. In this case, the chief quirk, as you will read ad nauseum on forums everywhere, is the primer feed mechanism. They got a point. We're going to show you how to deal with that, and some other things. So, let's begin first by describing the major sub-assemblies of the Pro 1000 progressive press. First, it is a fully progressive press. Now, down here is the body. This body is made, I believe, out of cast aluminum. It's certainly sturdy enough for our purposes. Got the handle here which moves this thing called the shell plate holder assembly. That would be this guy right here. You see the chute here, that's where all the ammo comes out. Well, now we move to the shell plate holder assembly. In it sits, well, the shell plate, which would be this disc here, which rotates. Watch this. Rotate. There it goes. That's the shell plate. Okay, and attached to the shell plate is this thing called the primer feed mechanism. Okay, what this is a gravity-fed system. It consists of this primer tray, which is connected to this primer feed chute, and ultimately the primers get pushed into the primer pocket through this little ram right down there. I don't know if you can see that, but it's right there. So that's the primer feed mechanism. Also attached to this shell plate is the case feeder assembly. That would be this series of 4 tubes here. Okay? You see the 38 special cases in there? And notice the top. We have this big red thing, this big red dish. This would be what's called the case collator. It speeds loading of these case feeder tubes immeasurably fast. I can fill all 4 of these in about 30 seconds. Now moving up from the shell plate holder assembly, we find the turret holder. Okay, the turret holder assembly. This is the turret holder. This is the turret. This is a 3-stage press. You've got your decapper resizer die here. That would be this guy. And that's in station 1. In station 2, you have your powder through expander die. That's right here. Yes, it does flare the case. Yes, it does feed the powder. And in station number 3, you have your bullet seeder and crimp die. That's this guy here. I would like there to be a 4th stage, but unfortunately there isn't. The reason I'd like the 4th stage for the Lee factory crimp die, but it turns out, having loaded about 3,500 rounds in this press already, I've learned that the bullet seeder / crimper die actually does quite a fine job on its own. Now, moving up from this turret here is this thing here. This is the powder measure. It's the Lee Pro Auto Disc powder measure. It is a disc type powder measure, on which actually AmmoSmith will be doing quite an extensive video describing which powders flow well through it and which ones don't flow through so well. I currently have Bullseye in the powder hopper here, this red thing. You see it's about almost halfway full. How do I know it's Bullseye? Because of this thing here. I always keep my powder jug for the specific powder that I'm using right here, so I always know which powder that we use. Why? So that I don't do a really, really stupid thing and mix powders. We all know that makes a kaboom and is highly dangerous. That's why we don't want to do that. That's why my powder is here. So I know that's bullseye. Now, in order to properly deal with this press, and this press right now does have a problem. It will not feed primers the way that I would like it to. It's feeding primers sideways right now. We've got to clean the primer mechanism. Really, we should do a good strip and cleaning of the entire thing, and that's really what we're going to do here. So, to do that, we need to empty our case feeder tubes, our primer hopper, and, our powder hopper, duh, and our primer feed mechanism, which, as you can see, is still full of primers. We need to get all that out of there. We will start with the case tube feeder mechanism here. Okay? Now notice, there's nothing falling down there right now, thank goodness. But if there had been, what we need to do is we need to take something like this here, insert it up in there, and push them up until we could twist this and lock them all in there. Fortunately, that's already been done. So, we'll just take this out. You just twist, and it comes right out. Loosen, 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 loosen. And this nut is about to fall. Oh, good, didn't drop it that time. Now we just take it on out, and we're going to dump our cases in this little guy here. Here we go. Yep, all empty. Okay, now we can set this over here. Now we do our powder. Now to do the powder, we got to loosen this chain here. See this little goldish brass chain here? There's a little spring tension on there. See that? See that spring there? So we got to loosen that tension. We do like that. And then we can take this chain out, like so. By the way, this is another part of the Pro 1000, and for that matter the Loadmaster, that has been described as problematic, this little chain here. No, it's not the strongest thing in the world, but actually, if you treat your press right, you really won't break them. So don't worry about that. There's some complaints about people breaking them. Well, that's because they're not doing it right. We'll show you how to do it right later. So, okay, so now that's out. Now we can take our turret off. It comes off like so. Twist, and it lifts right out. So, take this off. We open this up and we put this bullseye powder back in its original container. Hey, gee, it would be nice to have a little paper funnel, wouldn't it? We'll do that. Fortunately, I can do this one-handed. I should have done this before, but I didn't. Oh well. So, in we go. And now we take our powder and we dump it in here. And we'll set this aside. Now we take the primers out. Anytime we deal with primers, we must put on our face protection. Full face shield. See this? Nothing less will do. Here we go. Now, to get our primers out, we have to basically go against gravity and push them up back into the tray. Like so. Okay, put this in to hold them there. And and this just unplugs, and we can set this aside. Here we go. I'll take this off. And now we are ready to start further disassembly, which we will continue in the next segment. We'll see you then.
San Francisco liberal with a gun.